Before St. Benedict's closed, the Drama Guild had been a major force in the school. From its creation in 1961 by Frank Turok to the successes of summer theater, the Drama Guild was one of the most popular and successful activities. After the school closed and reopened, though, it took a while for the organization to regain its status. In 1973, Father Luke joined alumna Patricia Flynn to teach a summer phase theater class. Spring phase theater classes followed, but it was not until the early 1980s, when Miss Flynn began to spend more and more time at the Hive, that the Drama Guild truly began its ascent. In 1983, Father Ed asked Miss Flynn, who was stage managing professionally in New York City at the time, to direct a show. Used to the huge productions the Drama Guild had put on when she was a student, she attempted to bring the huge production Skin of Our Teeth to Conlin Auditorium. No one knew what they were getting into, and due to inexperience and a large number of members who lacked the dedication to put on a major show, the play was canceled. The seeds had been sown, however. Miss Flynn continued to teach acting classes at Benedict's, and in 1986, Father Ed asked her to put on a fall show. Having learned from Skin of Our Teeth, Miss Flynn decided to start out with a smaller production, but one that would allow her most talented actors to shine. Tim Peter had been a freshman in 1983, but had been cast as the lead in Skin of Our Teeth. He had been one of the bright spots of that attempt, and had taken some classes with Miss Flynn, so she picked Ethel Fugard's Master Harold and the Boys, knowing that he would give a strong performance as the titular lead. As Miss Flynn had more actors than parts, she double cast the show. With the help of stage manager Andre Parrish, Master Harold would be a huge success. In 1989, the Drama Guild would experience one of its greatest successes. Miss Flynn had chosen Fugard's play, The Island, as she felt it would showcase the talent of Fernando Baptista and George Hanna. Their production was exceptional, and they entered a competition at Long Beach Island. While most schools showed up with the elaborate sets and costumes and buses full of fans, Benedict came in a van with 5 Spring Phase students, the 2-person cast, a stage manager, and Miss Flynn. Theater is about more than bright lights and large audiences, however, and while the other schools performed safe, high school-type shows, The Island, set in a South African prison, allowed Miss Flynn's actors to showcase their talent. The audience, full of people who had no idea what to expect, was moved. The play received a standing ovation, and the Drama Guild cleaned up on the awards, winning everything but Best Costumes. For cast members used to performing for 17-person audiences at Benedict's, this was a special moment when their hard work and talent were finally acknowledged. When they returned to the Hive, it was with a van full of trophies.
Drama Guild was the first place at Benedict's that mattered to me, and I guess it's because I've always been on the artistic side of things, and at Benedict's that wasn't always the easiest thing to do.
Yeah.
When I left Benedict's, I was going to be an actor. And eventually that didn't work out, but after my freshman year of college, I was more disillusioned. I'd seen a lot of theater at a supposedly good theater school and hadn't impressed me much. So I came back and they were doing Darker Face of the Earth, which is the best piece of amateur theater I've ever seen. And it's the kind of script that most directors won't do, professional, amateur, anywhere. And it was legitimately better than anything I'd seen at college that year, a lot of the professional stuff I've seen, and it's a testament to her directing ability and willingness to trust her actors and do something that somebody else wouldn't even bother to try.
First play I saw him in was Fences. Which he plays an elderly black man.
Every word out of my mouth is nigger.
I've not heard a white male use that word. Even in this current year, with this current election, I haven't heard it that much.
Somebody in the audience said, well, I don't know if he can act, but he's definitely got balls.
Yes, everybody in our class. But that it speaks of a level of respect, again, for the craft, and a level of respect for the story, and to hold us to those high standards, to say, you know, I can't imagine how it would have been for you entering into that process, but, you know, I do know what it is to have Miss Flynn say, I believe in you, and you can do this.
No limitations, like, we could do Death of a Salesman with a white son, a black father, and Flynn always said if you act well enough, that's going to be forgotten within the first 5 minutes.
I'm going to go on record and say I was the one who came up with the name Mama Flynn.
Yes,
I don't know
was.
if that, it was me.
It was you.
Okay, I didn't know if anybody else. I mean, I'm pretty sure after our year, nobody else said it. But that's just proof, Miss Flynn, that we love you more than anybody else. And
we are your favorite class.
And we are your favorite class. It's no small thing for me. I can't speak for anybody else, but it's no small thing for me to call anybody other than my biological mother, Mama. I still to this day feel like that's not only Miss Flynn, that's Mama Flynn, you know?
There were definitely times in my personal life where you and the Drama Guild were the ones who kind of kept me going or gave me a place where I felt comfortable or where I felt like my shit was together. Senior year especially, the auditorium for a while became the one place where I was comfortable, and that got me to college, that got me through college, that got me where I am now.
You were one of very few teachers at the school who treated me like an adult, and it meant a lot, just to give somebody the freedom to step into that fullness. And, you know, I was able to become more than I would have ever thought of myself when beginning the school. And I actually have this here. I look at this when I get worried. She essentially said, you know, a life in the arts isn't easy, but it's one of the most rewarding, and it requires courage. And I am reminded of how true that is every single day. I left my job. I'm with the interactive improvisational troupe now in New York. And going forward in this life of I'm just going to do art, it's that bit of information and tutelage that keeps me going on. So it means a lot.
Yeah.
That's it. I guess that's
what we got.
Throughout the 90s, the Drama Guild continued to grow, putting on their first musical, A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum, and taking their first tour. Russell Marsh and Derek Branch starred as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X, respectively, in The Meeting. Other highlights of the 90s included Fences and Charlie's Aunt, a show as noteworthy for its costumes and sets as its acting.
Pat Flynn is unique. She is a director, an actor, an educator, a lighting designer, a set designer, a stage manager, an electrician, a carpenter. She's virtually almost anything in the theatrical world. And I have to say that I've worked with theater now in the last 3 years and on the technical aspect, and I must say that no one does what she does as well as she does it. She's an anomaly. No one does all the things that she does as well as she does them. Like, that just doesn't exist. Someone who's a carpenter and an actor. Like, that doesn't exist in the real world. That's amazing that she does that. And I have to say, working in the professional world, 90% of what I use, I learned in high school. I've worked as an electrician, as a soundboard operator, as a stagehand, in various other fields on the technical aspect of theater. And I must say that everything that I do now, I've been doing it since high school because she taught me how to do it. So I just want to say thanks, Pat Flynn. Thank you for helping me be who I am today.
As the Drama Guild moved into the new millennium, they began to travel more. In 2000, they took Of Mice and Men to England and Ireland. Led by Theo Bonner Perkins and Jamal Green, Of Mice and Men grew stronger with every production. In 2005 and 2006, the Drama Guild would go to Bolivia performing The Lords of Wonder and Don Quixote. Not only did they perform these shows, they adapted the scripts themselves. In 2007, the Drama Guild was invited to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, a huge honor for a high school theater group. Since they were going to Scotland, Miss Flynn chose to perform a Scottish play, but was not content to settle for a conventional performance, instead setting it in a Caribbean dictatorship. Featuring Jeremy Kane as Macbeth, Chango Macbeth received rave reviews in Newark and Staten Island before going across the pond, where it only became stronger. Other highlights of the Drama Guild include Death of a Salesman, featuring Matt Jennifer, Jamal Green, and Kendra Burton, Darker Face of the Earth, a show with a strong ensemble cast led by Anton Campbell and Jason Simmons, and the musical 1776, led by Danny Kane, William Edmonds, and Matt Jennifer, and Guys and Dolls, featuring Jeremy Kane and Cameron Bernard Jones, who has since become a professional singer. Travis Lands and Santos Srirachata also emerged as technicians. Recently, the Drama Guild has continued to perform innovative, creative theater, the types of shows most high schools shy away from. They have also begun to work more with other artists in the school, performing Yellowface and Tibetan Book of the Dead as a part of a multimedia project on Asian culture. Herbie Beauville and Axel Sanchez emerged as leaders, taking the mantle from those who came before them. As long as Miss Flynn is at the helm, the future can only get brighter.